After CES and all the electric vehicles and driverless vehicles on display there, the main focus of the auto industry now inevitably falls on Detroit. However, the manufacturers displaying their latest models in Detroit will have to go some considerable way to upstage the incredible Viziv Performance STI Concept that Subaru has unveiled in all its glory at the Tokyo Auto Salon. Although it's pretty closely related to the Viziv Performance Concept unveiled at last year's Tokyo Auto Show, a raft of flashy STI parts have been added that make it look altogether more aggressive and dynamic. At the front there's a deep lip spoiler complementing the redesigned front bumper, which has abandoned the twin outboard air intakes and opened up the center one instead. Subaru's designer says it improves the cooling and aerodynamics, but it has to be said it looks pretty good too. Around the sides are the ubiquitous side skirts, and at the rear of the car there are small extensions to the same diffuser seen on the earlier Viziv concept. And of course, there's an absolutely outrageously huge spoiler at the rear too. Although the Viziv Performance concepts are previews of future WRX and STI models, Subaru is staying tight-lipped about what's likely to be under the hood of the concept, or any future production models. It's being assumed Subaru will stick to its guns and stay on safe territory with a flat 4 and all-wheel drive, but as the production models are likely to be at least a couple of years away, it would seem unwise to rule out some sort of hybrid or even all-electric powertrain. And considering how futuristic the Viziv Performance STI Concept Subaru looks, it would surely only be right to have a powertrain underneath that's as contemporary and cutting-edge as the stunning bodywork.
Nissan took the wraps off the motion, say cross-motion concept at the Detroit Auto Show on Monday, using the sharply styled compact crossover to showcase Japanese heritage and aesthetics, and demonstrate how contrasting design attributes can coexist in a single vehicle. The design team took inspiration from architecture, landscapes and traditional crafts in designing the motion to offer a window into Nissan's next generation of crossovers and SUVs. Note that the motion concept isn't meant as a preview of an impending production model, even though the Xterra has been notably absent from the lineup for a few years. Rather, the concept attempts to chart a new direction in Nissan SUV design, while anticipating a future dominated by autonomous driving tech. Alfonso Albiza, Senior Vice President of Global Design at Nissan said, "This motion concept is a study in how seemingly disparate elements can gain power and strength through coexistence. It draws inspiration from the Japanese aesthetics and techniques that have been passed down through generation after generation. At the same time, it achieves the modern purposefulness required for drivers in the near-future era of connected, autonomous crossover vehicles." The concept still features Nissan's familiar V-Motion grille, but just about all other parts of the front fascia have been sculpted in a new way, emphasizing a high windowsill line and vertical side treatment. Inside, the sparsely detailed cabin anticipates autonomous technologies of the future with a series of wide screens positioned just below the windshield. The interior is bisected by a single, light-colored console. This is one of the elements inspired by traditional crafts, in this case Japanese wood joinery techniques. Nissan says that this technique uses neither glue nor a single nail, and that it is known for its durability and strength. Nissan says, careful attention was especially paid to the grain direction, texture and even the aroma of genuine wood to look and feel as if the whole instrument panel and console were cut out of a single Japanese cedar tree. Out of respect for resource efficiency, the solid wood look was achieved by using genuine wood overlays, which were sliced out of a single tree that was selected from the woods in Yamagata Prefecture in northern Japan. The wood theme extends to the underside of the dash itself, which is illuminated by soft red light. The concept seats make use of wooden elements as well, and the concave shapes of the seats are meant to be ergonomic. The lack of a B-pillar and the clamshell doors give the motion an airy feel. These types of doors are great for concepts since they allow viewers to see the entire interior, without needless interruptions, and they help with ingress and egress. Albisa added, the motion concept's exterior is very dynamic, very wedged. The strong fenders are fluid and emotional, yet somehow very graceful. That's the difference between this design and conventional SUVs with Western influence. The motion concept embodies quiet dynamism and a purity that gives it a very unique presence. We wouldn't bet on the next Rogue looking exactly like this, but the motion concept should still be useful in charting the design direction of upcoming Nissan SUVs and crossovers.
This week, we had an opportunity to get some time in one of our favorite brands, Subaru, stemming from the fact that we both owned one when we met must have something to do with our Subaru obsession. Actually, back at that point in our lives, the early 80s, its vehicles made a lot of sense just as they do today, fairly priced and got great gas mileage. Since that time, many things in the automotive world have changed along with Subaru. The Outback has become one of the best-selling models in the line, right behind the Forester. Although it may not be one of the top 30 best-selling models out there, it definitely has a place in Americana and the hearts of those that really love Subarus. One of the reasons might be the 8.7 inches of clearance underneath the mid-sized wagon. What that really means is that it is a very capable vehicle in the four-wheel drive world, but also is a great everyday driver. Not only because it has four-wheel drive, but also because it is designed to go off-road and get around with ease. It's also designed to be a great family vehicle, and most importantly, it is designed for the active family on the go. Meaning those that want to explore the outdoors and get there in comfort and safety with enough room for all the extra stuff involved with their many activities. Subaru has become a lifestyle vehicle and generally has one in their lineup for everyone. The Outback has become the active family car. The question is, will that remain the standard, especially here in Utah where large families are more the norm than the exception, with the introduction last month at the LA Auto Show of the largest Subaru ever in the Ascent. This is the first three-row vehicle for Subaru, and we got a chance to look through it at the show. It seemed to us in size more like a Chevy Traverse. How these two Subarus compete for the family market will be interesting as time goes on. There are some cosmetic changes for the 2018 Outback that have made it look even more masculine, with updates to the front end that are highlighted by the wider and lower grille openings, along with an entirely new bumper to set off the hexagonal grille. Add to that a new lighting package and it disappears, as Subaru wants you to see that the front is giving the look of the horizontally opposed boxer engine. We like the new look, even though as Subaru claims, this is an SUV, it still has a more wagon look overall, but they are headed in the right direction, and with a ground clearance of 8.7 inches, it will be hard to keep the Outback on the pavement. The 3.6-liter engine did make quite a difference this time around for us. We liked it better than the smaller 2.5i that was in our last week with the Outback. The extra 81 ponies were well worth the extra for the larger motor. However, the mileage fell off quite a bit as we only got 23.7 mpg average for the week, where a year ago we got 29 with a smaller engine. We would think most would opt for the better gas mileage. We, however, liked having the extra acceleration available on demand. Enhancements to the Lineatronic CVT, continuously variable transmission, were great, as the engineers have managed to make it quieter with a short pitch chain and making adjustments to the engine timing under hard acceleration. We felt this was one of the strongest CVTs that we have driven as of late, as it even took us a couple of hours the first day to notice that it was a CVT, not a standard transmission. Of course, the inside of the Touring Edition features some great creature comfort additions, with a now larger 8-inch touchscreen for multimedia functions that sits front and center and surrounded by high-gloss black accents, giving the feel of a more luxurious vehicle than that of a rugged adventure. There is also a nice, genuine stitching detail on the dashboard, seats and door panels that really add to the touring trim level. And in true Subaru fashion, it is the little additions that most will not ever notice that make a huge difference. A revised air conditioning system that cools the cabin more quickly, interior power is retained longer after the ignitions shut off, letting the occupants exit the Outback in comfort, and the clock is now easier to read, something we were complaining about in the Lexus we had a few weeks ago that only had analog clock to tell the time. The Outback Touring comes complete with the EyeSight system from the engineers at Subaru. What this does is add an extra pair of eyes and even an extra foot on the brake, if needed. There really are two new sensors that are located on each side of the rear-view mirror at the top of the windshield that continually scan the road ahead and to the sides of the vehicle. This makes it possible for the Outback to alert the driver if he starts to wander outside of the lane, and will also nudge the vehicle back into the lane with Subaru's version of Lane Keep Assist. We found that the system performed very well even in the dark of night on the concrete freeway where the lines are sometimes hard to see. It will even alert the driver if he seems to be weaving back and forth in the lane, something that might happen with drowsy driving. It also comes with adaptive cruise control that will keep the Outback at a certain distance behind the next vehicle in the lane, even bringing the vehicle to a complete stop if necessary. The engineers have even taken this technology one step further by providing an audible beep when the car ahead clears, allowing the Outback to return to the set speed. This system will also hit the brakes if it thinks that the Outback is in imminent danger of a front collision. It will also reduce throttle control and apply brakes if the danger is not as imminent as it may appear, thus either avoiding or greatly diminishing a front-end collision. With a Subaru equipped with the EyeSight system that IIHS gives the Outback the highest rating possible when it comes to front-end collisions. Our test ride would even give us a beep if we had been stopped for a minute and the car in front had moved forward, helped avoid those awkward moments when we were not paying complete attention to traffic ahead after stopping at a light. This is the first time we have seen this technology in a vehicle. Add to all these great safety feature, rear cross-path detection and blind spot monitoring, and it all adds up to a very safe ride, which is, as they say, what makes Subaru a Subaru? See one today at Doug Smith Subaru in American Fork at 523 West Main, 801-492-1110.